Hit it! Culture, sophisticated
Podcast, baby. Now tell me something good. Oh, yeah.
Welcome, everybody. PBR Podcast. Mike Plano, Joe Maffei, Dennis the intern. And guess what? Quarantine's over, and the coronavirus never happened. It's bullshit. Governor Murphy said so today.
Oh, he rewrote the lines today. Didn't he move the goalpost again today?
Yeah, dude.
If you're exercising your First Amendment right, there's no coronavirus.
No,
It's
no,
so
I like it too. So now the WHO came out and said that asymptomatic transmission is very, very low.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that made most of us worried. You know, you
Yep.
could avoid a guy that's coughing and hacking, but just some, virus grenade with the pin pulled that doesn't look like anything.
Yeah.
Apparently that was wrong.
Yeah.
Dude, we've never been so right.
Oh,
You know
So-
what I mean?
Are we ever going to listen to experts again?
no, that's the problem.
I mean, if it hasn't been, if it's not apparent now that it's all been a big like scam,
Yeah.
I don't know what
Could
is.
be.
I mean, obviously there's a virus, right? And people got sick from it. But like, if you look at all of the data, you don't get it from services. Asymptomatics don't spread it. What they did with the nursing homes, nursing homes were crying for help. They didn't give it to them. All the old people in the nursing homes died. We brought in the hospitals on the ships. We didn't need them. We erected hospitals. We didn't need them. Ventilators weren't an issue, right? They were more better. Like nothing was right.
Not a thing.
I'm
So
just
their whole-
nervous about the asteroid that's going to be coming in, and they're going to be like, yo, we got to do something. And we're like, screw you, like we had to do with COVID. And then boom.
You think they're holding on to it now because they just don't want to seem so wrong?
I guess so. I go back and forth, man. I don't even know what to think. Like I've been describing it as my head literally is just spinning. Like the nonsense is so loud, I can't concentrate. You know what I mean? But at this point, I feel like I don't know if you look at like I don't want to get political about it, but red versus blue states, like red states have been open, blue states aren't. Are they pushing it to the election? Are the protests part of the way to get it to spike to go to the election? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what's going on. My head just spins constantly. Or nobody really knows what they're doing, and we're just dumb apes. Like, I think that's probably more accurate than anything. We're just dumb apes.
I'll be the first dumb ape. Honestly, I feel it, man. I just feel like uninformed. I don't have an opinion that actually matters. And if I do, there's always someone telling me that it's wrong. And then when I think I'm right and I'm totally sure I'm right and I know I'm wrong, I think that's the
Yeah.
problem that's happening.
You know what I've come to the conclusion. I just need to be prepared for me and mine.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Like, I don't care what anybody else is saying. Like, we're doing what we need to do to be prepared and, be able to sustain. And that's that, man. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to be like, be kind to people. Like, if I could ever echo my Joe Gatto, be kind. If I can ever echo him, now's the time to echo him. Like, be kind to one another, be a good person, right? Do what you have to do for you and yours, prepare for the future, and be positive.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, that's what I got out of this whole thing.
I'd say amen, but that'd be Christian.
I mean, dude, listen. What the fuck? I spent the entire day with my son, right?
Yeah.
We got up. We went for a 2-mile walk. He ate breakfast while we were pushing a stroller. We had to Hank the dog.
Oh, he was in the stroller. I hope you didn't make that poor little toddler walk for 2 miles.
No, dude. And then we came home. We played in the yard, right? We had lunch. He took a nap. He got up. I threw him on the bike. I rode to the beach. We went to the beach. We played in the ocean. It was like one of those perfect. Maffei, you're a beach guy. You're from a beach town like I am, so you'll appreciate this. Tide today was one of those perfect tides where it made tide pools.
Oh, cool.
Which is perfect for a 2-year-old. You know what I mean? So like he could play in the ocean but not be in the ocean.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So we did that. We came home. We swam in the pool. Gave him dinner. He went to bed. Now I'm here talking to you guys. Like,
That's
who
fantastic.
am I to complain about anything?
It's weird. I can't see you pushing a stroller, even though I saw a woman today pushing a stroller with a dog in it.
Oh,
My
I
wife's
don't
like, "Did you-"
understand.
my wife's
I
like,
don't get that.
my wife's like, "Did you see that woman with the pushing the dog with the stroller in it?" And I looked at her and I go, "She's hot. She can do whatever she wants."
What does who is it? Is it Tom Segura has that joke? He's like, I love my dogs.
Yeah.
I love them. I take care of them, and I love my kids. But it's not the same. And here's the difference.
Yeah, it's not the same.
If
Although
my
I will,
dog attacks my kid, I will beat the dog to death
Yeah.
while the kid watches.
that
Dogs
joke
are
was
starter kids.
that joke was really good too when Tom
Segura
Segura
did
did
it,
it
yeah.
on his special.
Yeah. If you
I would
discovered
put
it.
I would put Hank in a stroller if he were injured. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He cut one of his little pads and was bleeding on the ground, and you didn't have any like crazy glue to mend it. Throw him right in the stroller. I hear that.
You know?
Yeah,
But you would put him in the stroller to go back. You wouldn't it wouldn't be his life.
No,
His
I mean
life
like
wouldn't be strolling about.
no, I mean like we go for walks just about every day, barring weather phenomena, you know. So if he couldn't walk anymore, he'd still want to get out there. I'd throw him in a wagon or a stroller or something. Yeah.
It's
like
sad
his-
though. When
It's
a dog
sad,
when a dog wants to do something and it can no longer do it, like my dog can't jump up on stuff, and it makes the attempt, and it's just so pathetic and sad. I feel bad every time.
I mean, you should probably just put him down at that point, right?
Oh no, no, she's still good. You just gotta pick her up and put her on the bed.
Yeah, you make some concessions here.
I mean,
Like I
You
guess
get a little
Q,
something from the jump up
Yeah.
and give him a
Yeah.
step.
like Q giving the IV to the cat. Well, I guess it was too far for you.
I mean, listen, I love my cat too, and
Yeah.
it needs to like it should. I think it died months ago. And let's play a little game here, right? Like I don't know if the lovely and talented Pam ever listens to this show. I think probably not. But let's play a little game.
Okay.
My cat, she hates this cat.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
cat throws up 10 times a day. And it's not
I hate it too.
it's not fur balls because it's never cleaned itself ever. It's a dirty, mangy, it stinks. Its teeth are falling out. Blood just pours out of its face from time to time. And it just throws up on everything. You buy a new carpet, it pukes on the carpet. You buy a new couch, it pukes on the couch. So we went away this weekend, and here's how I want to test if she listens. When we got back from the weekend, I've kind of gotten the feeding of the cat down to a science where she'll throw up less, where I give her wet pate and I have to mush up the pate, but I only give her a quarter of a can at a time.
You have
Yeah.
to mush up the mushy wet dog food?
It's a cat.
second
It's a
mushing?
cat, but yes,
Yeah.
Less than a baby.
Oh, it's got cat food, yeah.
yes, it's a second mushing, dude.
A second
do it
mushing.
8 times a day. Like
my God.
this cat owns me, right? But she doesn't throw up if I do that. But we went away for 2 days, so I had to put it dry food in a self-feeding container, which she's not used to eating, and she'll overindulge and hence throw up all over stuff.
Oh.
So we got a brand new we got a brand new rug underneath the dining room table.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I
Poor rug.
I made sure when we got home that I got into the house first, right? Like poor Pam is like unpacking bags out of the back of the car, and I ran upstairs with Parker I had to check. So the cat threw up everywhere. She threw up twice on the brand new rug. She threw up once on the playroom rug where Parker plays. She threw up in the kitchen. She threw up in the basement. She threw up everywhere. And I cleaned it up before Pam saw any of it. And then she walked in the house, and what were the first words out of her mouth?
Did the cat throw up?
Did the cat throw up? And what did I respond?
No, honey.
No.
And I said, absolutely not. She didn't.
Absolutely
Look,
not.
she's great. Now, is that a lie?
No, not really.
It's only a lie in the sense that you didn't tell the truth.
Yes.
I mean,
I've seen this movie before. You went out back of your house and buried this cat in the pet cemetery?
Yeah. Sometimes dead is better, Mike. Sometimes dead is better.
what like would you? All right. So if she listens to this episode right now,
Right.
does she get mad because I lied to her?
But by then it's a week old.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Nah, she might be like, so the cat did, wow. I mean, I don't know if anyone's going to hold on to a grudge like that.
Yeah, and if your relationship's anything like mine, I've done 7 things since then.
That
thing's in the past.
That's great.
That's it, You want to talk about what we did a week ago or the things I'm causing right now?
Exactly.
That's
Let's
so
solve
good.
today's problems.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I'd get rid of that cat, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, dude. She does everything like she normally would do in her lifetime, except hold food down. So how do you know to put them down? How do you know like she's ready to die?
The not eating thing is a pretty good, or not being able to hold food down
Well, she
It's a
can
pretty good
hold
sign.
down small amounts of wet food. I've gotten it down to science, and she's pretty good with that.
I think the
But, you know,
comparison on how much are into animal rights.
Yeah, quality of life.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know?
I could just like in the pool.
No active hand. No active hand.
I'll tell you what I'm
No.
not doing.
You can set up like a Rube Goldberg machine
Dude.
where the cat knocks something over and it moves a book and then it slices this. Then 15 steps later.
I'm not taking her to the vet to have her euthanized. I've been down that road and I'll never do it again.
Think
Why?
about like 10 aspirin inside the thing.
Have you done it before, Dennis?
I have. We had a little dog. We had a little Jack Russell Terrier that I kept alive longer than I probably should have. Probably a good 6 months to arguably a year. Her quality of life was not that good, but I couldn't let go. So it was just to the point where even I couldn't deny it to myself anymore that it was time to time to give Cecilia a peaceful end. And it was terrible, man. It was terrible. They brought her in. The doctor took a look, and I still was like, "Hey, is there anything?" And they're like, "Dennis, this is it. Neurologically, she's gone. She's blind. She's deaf. You know, she's getting lost inside of her own house. It's time." So they gave her the shot to calm her down, and they gave her the shot. And minutes later, my dog is still. I started losing it with these guys. I'm like, what the F are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, reverse it. She wants to live. She wants to live. Like, literally, I don't know how it felt like what am I supposed to, like, very calmly, they knew how to handle me. They're like, Dennis.
Why did they not give her the right dose?
I don't think they gave, in my opinion, they didn't give her the right dose.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you what's subtle that I didn't have to pay for the,
You got a freebie.
I didn't have to pay for the cremation. I didn't have to pay for the box, and I didn't have to pay for the little pad that they do, like the nice stuff they do.
Nice.
I had to pay for the thing, but so they're like, no, I've never seen this happen before. I'm like, well, give her the antidote. Like,
Yeah.
There's no antidote, Dennis. This is it.
Yeah.
We're down the road. I'm like, well, then give her another one. Well, I want to wait and see, and I almost grabbed the guy. Thank God, Mrs. the intern was there to be like. I'm like, wait and see. My animal's been suffering for minutes.
Yeah.
And then they did. As soon as they popped in the other one, it was. And then
so
it was awful, man, awful.
that's where I was most
Dehydrated from crying.
That's where I was most pissed off about my experience. So you had mentioned the shot before the shot.
The shot before the shot.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed off about that because when I went, it was like, we're just gonna, if you do that again, Dennis,
I know. I couldn't find it
you,
fast enough.
like everybody listening to this podcast, just shut it off. Like they feel like you can get it from listening to
They can't.
podcasts.
They can't.
I think we
But
need to put
Governor
him down.
Murphy said you could. So he took Bunky. This is Bunky the cat. So he took Bunky back and was giving her a shot before the shot. Oh, we're to just relax her. But when he brought her back, dude, she was already gone, and I was like, I was mad about that. Like,
You didn't get to say goodbye.
Well, she was totally glassed over and gone, and then they gave her the second shot, but she was already dead from the first one, and I was pissed off. Like, that was some balls, man.
Two
No, they
shots?
didn't-
Is that epoxy or something? Like what
They
the hell is that?
give the shot before the shot. You haven't had an animal put down?
One shot is what went down when we
Wow.
put the last dog.
I mean,
shot.
it was different in the 50s, Joe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, back
But
then.
The messed up thing was when we did ours, the dog was just laying there, and it looked up and was like, "You suck," and that was it. It
Oh.
looked at me, and I still see its face.
You still see its face. Oh no, yeah. No. I appreciated. They did everything in the room.
Yeah.
The shot before the shot was we were in the room, and then the shot came in, and it was. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was awful. But now
Awful.
I have.
It's awful, dude.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It ripped. I cried for the loss of my dog. I ended up crying because I forgot to say goodbye to my grandma. I mean, everything came out in one. All the stuff I was holding in came out in one moment. Oh, it was awful.
You both have witnessed birth, right? You both have witnessed birth.
Yes.
Which was worse for you?
Death.
Death.
Dude, I threw up 3 times in the
Birth
birthing room.
birth was
I
magical.
could not believe the blood and gore and like.
Oh my God! Well, who was he giving birth to? Rosemary's Baby? What
It
the
was
hell
it was
kind of
it was the
birth?
grossest experience I was not prepared for in my life. I still don't know how females do it.
Was it natural or was it?
Yeah, it was
C-section?
natural. It was a complete conehead baby.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
about
did
you?
The second baby, I was like, I'm Ice Chip Man up top, and it picks up. I'm never looking again. That was the scariest thing I've ever seen.
The only thing I got woozy on was when they administered the epidural. Everything else, man, I was not into per se, but I was like, I'm ready for this. I'm excited. Let's get it on. Okay, we're gonna give your wife the epidural. I'm like, whatever she needs, go for it. And I'm thinking about it now, watching that needle go into the spine. Ah, man.
Did I
God.
ever tell you my experience, dude? What happened in the delivery room?
No.
So we had a C-section. Pam had a C-section, right?
Nice
Two
roundhead
things.
baby.
I'll know twice. She'll hit me twice if she actually listens to this, right? The puke lie and the weed
Here
bullshit.
comes the cover.
So I sat up by her head on a stool, and our doctor was muy poquito.
Yeah.
Oh,
She was on a. So when I come into the room, there's like a drape hanging across her Pam's chest,
right.
and I'm on a side with Pam's head,
I've seen porn like this.
and I'm sitting on a stool,
You don't even know cuckold.
trying to comfort Pam.
Sure.
And I can see the step stool of our doctor right by my feet, or her feet. Honest, all I see are her feet.
The
on
surgical
a step
step
stool.
stool.
It's so small she
Yeah.
can't like get on the table. So he was very breached. So like he was up top. So like the table's like shake. Pam's head is like shaking back and forth. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? The doctors were like trying to push Parker out, and he was like holding on, like he didn't want to come out.
You don't want to come
So
out.
then I look at like
You knew it was coming.
the table really starts to shake, and I look at the stool, and there's no more feet on the stool. This woman like climbed up on top of Pam and was like pushing, and Pam's like, look. She's like, Pam was like, look, just look over, I want to know what's going on. Just look. And I was like, okay. So mind you, my doctor. So now she's 4 foot nothing, right? She had on what now people wear in the reg, going to like Wegmans, one of those shield masks, like
Sure.
welder. Like the plastic shield masks. So I'm like, all right, like I'll go look. So I start to elevate up over like
Over the curtain.
the blue curtain, and the doctor turns and looks at me, and it was like a moment out of Godzilla, like the original Godzilla, where he slices Rodan and the blood hits the camera, right? Like she looked at me, blood went right across the mask, and I just went right back down. I was like, everything's fine.
That's not good. you're doing great, honey. It's a miracle.
Dude, it was horrifying, but
Yes.
like death to life. Like I'll take life every time.
Oh yeah.
All right,
my son was born pretty big, and I remember the same thing when they were. I wanted to look, and my wife was like, "Take a look, see." And I remember I got the same thing where I kind of start to rise, and they caught me, and they were like, "Sit down. No, you worry about the north part, and we're gonna take care of this." And sure, I remember when they were trying to get my son like out. My wife's head just kept moving further and further down the table to the point where they're like, okay, we need to readjust. They started, I'm like, all right, what are we doing here? I've seen Dr. Pole. We're going to put the chains. Going to come along.
Crazy.
All right, you guys deliver my babies, and I'll kill your animals.
I want that to be nice. Last night I helped my my neighbors
Deliver a horse? What?
bury a cat.
Really?
Yeah, it's funny
Did you
to talk
cry?
about this.
I used to put in sprinklers. We pull them up all the time. It's the grossest
Oh,
thing.
it's
When a
gross.
cardboard box comes up with a cat skeleton.
Did you cry, Dennis?
This one I did not, but I did. The officiate isn't the right word, but they were about to just start scooping the dirt back onto the box, and I'm like, well, hold on, take a second. Why don't you say something nice about your cat? And I went to the guy's wife. I'm like, do you share a nice memory of your cat? And then we filled in the hole. But
What was the cat's name?
oh, what was the cat's name?
Yeah, you were really there.
Stormtrooper.
Oh, it sounds like a friendly cat.
Stormtrooper.
Let's take a moment of silence for Stormtrooper. Okay.
I made a huge mistake when we were buried. Right before we buried Bunky, for some reason we decided to open the box.
Why?
Oh, why?
I don't
You
know.
ghoul.
Man. We wanted to make sure, like, I don't know, that she was dead. I don't know. Like, I don't know why.
It
I don't
needs
know
air.
why.
Open up the box. It needs air.
I don't know why we did it, but we did it, and that was it, man. It was the worst hour I could ever remember. I cried. I'm trying to. I have a spade, and I'm just digging a hole, and there's like a lot of, like it was not easy ground to get through. There was a lot of like vines and roots and stuff. So to get 4 feet deep, because like God forbid you don't bury them deep enough, and then some animal pulls them out, and you wake up and Bunky's like in your yard, you know. That's some Pet Cemetery shit, but I cried the whole time. I have a plaque right where I buried her. Now I sit there on my lounge chair because I put a pool in.
What's the proper tool for burying a cat? Is that a long handled shovel? Is that one with the handle at the end?
I use
you're dealing with.
Like, what do you do?
I used a landscaping spade.
Yeah, you could use a nice spade. You could probably get a Maddox or like a hoe, something that you can get in there and kind of scoop out some of that. Depends on the earth you're trying to dig into.
Like a rounded tip, not a square tip.
No, a square tip.
Why would you?
No,
A round
no.
tip shovel is bullshit, dude. There's no use for a
You're
round
using
tip
a
shovel.
flat
It's an
shovel?
edging shovel.
I used a landscaping spade. Joe, you probably had them on the truck.
Yeah, but we would use a round tip shovel for digging big holes. I'm just curious what the proper.
Isn't that what a spade is? I thought a spade was the
Yeah, it
shovel
has a
that comes
spade
with it.
end.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't use a spade. Sorry, I used an edging shovel.
an edging shovel.
I have a
You got
spade.
down
I don't use it for anything.
No,
You got down 4 feet with that sucker?
Yeah.
Well, that's
4 feet.
impressive.
I mean,
You know how deep 4 feet is.
look at you. You're like the human backhoe.
I probably, let's be honest,
Mikey Buckets over there.
I probably didn't get 4 feet. Yeah.
So after you dug 4 feet, who helped you out of the hole?
I was really nervous when we put the pavers over top of her. That they
What
were
you do
gonna-
is you put the shovel across the top of the hole. You do like a pull up, and then you.
Yeah, I must have not gone 4 feet. I measured it though. I remember measuring. I probably went. I went close to
Like
4 feet.
18 inches.
No, because it would have come back up, dude. Like something would have pulled it out. Like there's shit in my yard all the time.
Yeah.
Groundhogs, squirrels,
Squirrels
Jersey
are gonna go for
Devils.
it. You got the Jersey Devil.
I don't know. Some people say I live in South Jersey. I don't think
Yeah.
I do, but Joe, you
No.
live in South Jersey.
I think I live in Central, but all right.
No,
Is
I
that
think
the thing? There's no Central Jersey, right? Is that the
no.
whole-
There's 100% of Central Jersey. Anybody who says there's not a Central Jersey, I challenge you to a duel of slap fighting.
I think it's from
Just
Central
slap on.
Jersey's from Monmouth to Tom's River.
Yeah, I get so. So I guess we're both
732,
Central.
right?
Yeah.
609 is firmly in the South,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and 732 is your Central Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Exit. I'd like to think
Higher in
like,
the South.
exit 98, like 109, maybe 117 to 98 is Central Jersey.
That's a
Anything
short
below-
distance, man. That's like a sliver then.
That's a sliver.
That's like a belt around.
All right, I'll go this then. I'll go the Driscoll Bridge. South of the Driscoll Bridge to 98 is Central Jersey.
I'm 98. That's just I'm in.
Yeah, you're the very bottom of 98
You're just making
of
it.
South Central.
Thank you. I've always wanted to be in Central Jersey.
I mean, you don't really want to be in South Jersey. Dennis and I lived there for many years. It's
Mm-mm.
different. I mean,
We-
Frank lives there. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of Frank, this weekend, Frank. Let's talk about this because I think the fans need to know. We reached out to your brother, Joe Maffei. And by
No,
we, I mean,
no, we just talked about it on the show. He reached out to Dennis.
Yeah.
all right,
Yes.
so Dennis, take it away,
So-
bro. What happened?
So I get a Twitter private message from I think hold on, let me look it up. I think it was Brother Steven.
I didn't even know he tweeted.
Yep, Brother Steve. I don't want to read it to you. It is very long. But it starts off wonderfully with greetings, Dennis the intern. I'm like,
Yeah.
who is this? And he introduces himself and he says that he's your brother, Joe. And he's very complimentary of the show, what you do. He was very complimentary to you, Joe. He loves the way Mike runs the show. He loves my contributions. He was very complimentary. But at the end, he said in no uncertain terms, he does not want to participate in the, know your bro. the game show Know Your Bro. So I did go back. Obviously, I'm thinking about the show. And I said, I appreciated his message. I appreciated his kind words. But we're not going to ask you anything that's like, it's not meet the press. We're not going to ask you about your political views. The only things you're going to have to defend are maybe humorous wrong answers, things of that nature, just fun.
Right.
And he said that he thanked me for the clarification, and that he thought it would be best to pass at this time. Let me stress that he wants to pass at this time. I guess he wants to know how much better the show is going to be in the future.
Yeah.
He did have a little commentary about some of the games Dennis plays. Kind of rattled me, but we're back on track.
He said they were shit, right?
He does not like conspiracy.
Nobody does.
Dude, I got news for you. Most people turn the show off when it happens.
Yeah.
At least
For conspiracy?
Yeah, or they fast forward. It's
I
a
hope
pointless piece of shit.
It's fun.
No, it's not fun.
It's good
not
times.
fun. I'm going out on a limb and saying I'm never playing it again.
Oh.
You want me to stop making conspiracy?
You could make it. You could even air it. I'm just not participating.
You're not going to just be Joe?
Joe versus Joe.
I'll play. I'll win then.
Thanks,
I'll win every
Joe.
time. But the messed up thing.
Hold
Mike,
on, I got to rewrite today's game. Just give me a few minutes.
I found out about this from Dennis.
Yeah, that's weird. I spent that week thinking that you would have reached out to me, Joe, and saying, "Hey, so my brother said he talked to you."
Right.
And then today, when we were going over what we were going to do today on the show, and Mike brought up, know your bro. I was like, whoa, know your bro, whoa. I guess you didn't know.
So Frank gets the default win, huh?
I think so.
Oh, that hurts.
Unless the only way to win is not to play. It's
Yes.
War Games rules. Maybe Steve's got the long game.
Frank.
Yeah.
You're on the air. You don't listen to the show anymore?
What's that?
You don't listen to Pizza Beer Revolution anymore, do you?
There's enough stupidity in the world. I don't need to.
Oh,
Oh, that hurts.
So I think
That
we
is-
just give. I think we give Joe Maffei's brother the win by default.
there we go. So
All right, Frank. I'm just calling to inform you that you lost. Know your bro.
He lost. Know your bro. War Games rules wins.
I think we know something about our bros. Neither of them like us very much.
And my brother's too busy to play. He's a New York City police officer.
Oh, yeah, he's busy.
He's busy right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. So I think we're going to have to come up with a new game for the future.
Well, I think that I'm not ready to put a pin in Know You Bro. I think Steve will. I think he'll come around. Maybe you can have a conversation with him, Joe.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's not say no. This is a great idea. Just needs a little more time to stir. I think it's a good. We'll get there.
And I always think it's a little bit of 2-on-1 here. Mike and I have similar opinions about a lot of things, and then you and Steve could have the wrong opinion together.
Exactly. And I think maybe that's the kind of stuff that's keeping him off the show. He doesn't want to be aligned with me.
I just want to point out that my brother totally just hung up on me.
He
I
did.
know.
I don't know if we wanted to talk about that. If you wanted to have a sidebar.
Yeah.
He obviously is too busy.
He exited on the line. There's enough stupidity in this world, and then he hung up the phone.
He hung up the phone.
He walked out.
I don't
That's
know what to say
sad.
about that. Hey, you guys want to play top or bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah,
More
me
than
too. But
anything.
I didn't prepare one.
Oh.
Oh,
So we're stuck with Dennis's game
We're
only
stuck with
today?
Dennis's game.
Dennis's game. Do we want to play it now?
Yeah, I think we should play it now because why not?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Because why not?
Well, today, I know that you're not listening to it today because we're recording it today. You're going to be listening to it later, which will be today for you, but not for us. For us, it's later. Bill and Ted, their new movie, Face the Music, they launched the trailer.
Yeah,
It's,
it's terrible.
You didn't care
It's-
for it.
Yeah, that was a terrible trailer.
I didn't see it yet.
Keanu looks so old.
He
does
is,
look
dude.
a
He's like
little old.
60, man.
Yeah, but he looks good in John Wick.
Dennis, how old is Keanu Reeves?
I'll look it up right now. Hold on,
Yeah.
lost you. There we go.
I mean, he's old as dirt, dude.
But the other dude looks great. And Death still looks the same.
Well, yeah. 55 years old. Keanu Reeves is 55
Oh, wow.
years old.
I thought he was 60.
Man, those John Wick movies really put the miles on you.
Yeah.
Dennis, you have 9 minutes.
Thank you. The trailer for Bill and Ted Face the Music dropped today, and in honor of that, I present a game I wrote called Bill and Ted, Marty, or Both. So, basically, I will read you a statement, and you will tell me if Bill and Ted did it, if Marty did it, if both Bill and Ted and Marty did it, or if neither of them did it.
It seems
You
like
got
a
it?
lot of work for a tough game here.
It is.
Joe, you got the scoreboard up?
I'm
got the
ready to go.
scoreboard.
All right, listen. So how many
Whoa.
movies were there? There were 2. This is the third one?
This is the
Yes.
third
I don't
Bill
know
and
if
Ted.
I ever saw Bogus Journey.
Oh, it's
better
great.
than the first. I think it's
What
a
do you-
great
what-
movie.
It's great? It's better than
Yeah.
the first?
It's a you gotta be a movie lover of those type of movies though. It's really a good movie. I enjoy it.
I think they honored the first movie with the second film.
Yeah.
It was
All right,
very
I'm gonna-
good.
I'm
They
gonna
took
have
it
to go
into an
back.
interesting new direction.
I'm
Bill and
clearly
Ted
gonna
are
have to,
truly
watch-
important people.
I'm going to have to watch both before I watch the third, right?
Yeah. And you are going to watch the third, aren't you, Joe? You're going to watch it, or are you going to stay away?
Yeah, I watch everything. I mean, I even give bad stuff a chance, like the game we're about to play.
Yeah, perfect.
Well said.
All right, so I'm going to read you, who did the following things with their adventures in time? Received help from an older gentleman on their adventures through time.
They both did it, man.
Both did.
What was his name? What's his father's name? He's dead now. George Carlin.
Yeah.
And
What was his name?
everybody who was they brought back was older than them too.
What was his name?
So, yeah, you're right. They both did it. Doc Brown for Marty and Rufus for Bill and Ted.
Tie right now. We're tied.
Tied. Performed a song that changed the world.
I know the answer to this, but I'm going to let Joe go first.
Well, it depends on if you want to think that Chuck Berry's songs changed the world or not. I would go with both still on that. I think Chuck Berry definitely did advance rock and roll. And I think that the Wild Stallions, is that right? Stallions?
Wild Stallions.
Changed the world. They changed the world too. They made it a better place, but that's not true in the trailer for the third one.
I'm going to say neither, because they never wrote the song that changed the world, Bill and Ted. Right? So I'm going to take it back. I'm going to say Marty.
Wow, you took it to a weird place.
I did.
Well, Bill and Ted they were going to have written the song that changed the world, but they had not written it yet.
Is this like a grammar tense thing I missed out on here?
Yeah.
I think
he
I'm
did.
right. I could tell by his reaction.
I said neither. Marty's rendition of Johnny Be Good was after his parents kissed. And the plot of the new Bill and Ted movie is that they have yet to write the song that the future is based on.
Yeah, they didn't write it
I
yet.
said neither.
Well, I disagree with you. I say Marty, because he played Johnny Be Good, and that changed rock and roll in that moment.
I'm going
So
with Johnny. I'm going with Johnny Dangerously. That's a fucking trick question.
Johnny
Dangerously.
Dangerously.
Yeah, that's a farking trick question.
You fargan
Fargan
You see this gun? It shoots a bullet that goes behind the guy. That's behind the guy,
It
behind
goes
the
through
bars.
schools.
You shouldn't kick me in the balls, Johnny's mom.
You think that movie holds up?
Yeah,
No.
it does. Oh, it's so good. When they're walking and having a conversation and Johnny's telling everybody about all his family members that are dead,
Yeah.
and he looks up and he goes, where the hell are we? And then the fire, Johnny's getting laid. I love
Oh, that was great. That was great. That's a better sex scene than Shaft.
Oh, yeah. With the hands. Had to make on-the-fly repairs to their vehicle.
Wait, hold
due
on
to-
a second. Who got the point? I'm saying I got the point.
Dennis got the point.
No, Dennis is
Dennis got
wrong. He's wrong.
He made the game. He knows the answer.
That doesn't mean that the answers are right.
I didn't know there was a
He-
debate section.
You posed the question, but your
Yeah.
answer was incorrect. It was
I think
an opinion.
I think I'm going to have to give this one to Mike because he's right.
Thank you.
Even though I was thinking about Earth Angel as the song, I forgot that Johnny Be Good,
Yahtzee.
the bootstrap paradox.
I'll take the point.
Marty goes back in time, performs Johnny Be Good, Chuck Berry's cousin. Chuck Berry records the song. Marty learns in the future, goes back to
listen to this. Who's it? It's Marvin.
your
Marvin
cousin.
Berry.
Marvin Berry.
All right, number 3. It's 1-1.
Number 3, had to make on-the-fly repairs to their vehicle due to damage received on their adventures in time.
It's got to be both, right? He fixed the car, and then they fixed the freaking antenna on the phone booth.
Yeah, I agree. Both.
It is both. Marty and Doc needed to repair the DeLorean after it was hit with a bolt of lightning and an arrow. And Bill and Ted had to repair the phone booth with chewing gum and trash after it was damaged. But I couldn't remember how it got damaged. It was about when it was going down. I think a cannonball took off some of the antenna, right? And they fixed it with chewing gum and pudding cups.
You have too much time on your hands.
I do. Damaged or splintered the timeline.
Well, definitely Marty. And I'm trying to think. I don't think Wild Stallions damaged the timeline. I'm gonna just say Marty.
Yeah, I'm going to say Marty, just Marty too, because they were supposed to be successful. I mean, they kept the timeline intact.
That's what I put. I said Marty. The sports almanac messing up his mom and dad's meeting, saving Clara. Bill and Ted, although had many wacky adventures, their time traveling never damaged the timeline.
Good for
And
them.
finally, used time travel for personal gain. Was that Bill and Ted? Was that Marty?
Got to go with the opposite of Mike if I want to.
I know, right? Okay, whose turn is it to answer first?
Yours.
I think it's yours, Mike.
Who used it for personal gain? Well, I know like Biff used it for personal gain clearly, and Marty was against that. Although I feel like he used it for personal gain later, like on the sly he did some shit. But Bill and Ted, I mean, the whole plot of the movie was like them getting an A on their history report, and that's personal gain. I'm going to say both.
I'm going to say both too.
Oh. It's just Bill and Ted, according to my analysis. Bill and Ted are tasked with acing their history report so they can stay together and win the Battle of the Bands and write the song that saves the world and the universe. Marty accidentally messed up his parents' meeting after getting in the DeLorean to escape the angry Libyans. His better life after the events of Back to the Future were not by design. His one attempt to profit never came about with the sports almanac, and then he spent the rest of that movie trying to unring that bell. So he never even went back in time to try to do it. So I said it was Bill and Ted.
Joe, you know what?
For Dennis.
I'm honored to tie with you, sir.
No, you didn't. You won. You had one more point than I did. You actually.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Why didn't you cover? You really thought it was
Well,
both,
you did.
Joe? Or?
Yeah, I really thought it was both.
Oh,
You know, I know. I thought about the black truck, and and then I got convinced. Everybody's got self-interest in mind, and
his
the
life
evil-
did get better,
Yeah.
but it's not because like he wasn't actively trying. He was just trying to get his parents back together
But
to
didn't
fix. He wasn't trying to make it better.
But didn't he meddle with the timeline and send a letter to Doc Brown to save him for his own benefit?
Yeah, that's right. He
God.
did. Yep.
Well, that was to save Marty's life. No, to save Doc's life, not Marty's own.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you this:
Marty.
the interesting thing is, depending on when in the time stream Doc reads that letter,
Yeah.
that means that Doc had to actively participate in Marty's life and make sure that Marty never, his parents never moved, that he never gets hurt, that he never, because now the only thing in Doc's life, he has to do two things: create the flux capacitor, which at that point he already done to make the time machine work, and make sure Marty goes back in time, because without Marty going back in time, he never writes the letter that he gives to Doc. So in a sense, Marty's kind of, until the end of that movie, he's in an infinite time loop.
Interesting.
And then if something goes wrong, Doc's got to go back in time and fix it, so that, again, everything has to lead up to the moment where Marty gets in the DeLorean and goes back to 1955.
So Doc could have thought
Or
Marty was
Doc
a dick
Brown
and
dies.
still cultivated him.
Huh?
Doc could have thought Marty was a dick and still cultivated him.
Like, what if Doc reads this and then, and then Marty's parents are like, we only want 2 kids. What happens then?
Bad
He's
stuff.
got to make sure they have a 3rd kid.
He sends chocolates and roses over.
Little Marvin Gaye.
nice.
Little Suki now.
I mean, like speaking like all these time travelers, though, like you have to almost feel like somebody like Donald Trump is a time traveler, or somebody's a time traveler, and they've completely gone back now and messed things up so bad. That's where we are right now.
I could see Donald Trump being a time traveler.
Well, he is a time traveler. You
I
know,
can get it because
He wouldn't have that hair.
No, but because the fact that like he could be going through all of this and not care about public opinion, or because I think it's because he firmly knows where this is all going to land.
Are you joking with me right now? Do you not know that Donald Trump's a time traveler?
I'm speculating right now.
No, dude, there is a plethora of data and evidence to support
there's data.
Dennis,
Plethora?
Dennis, look at me. Look at me.
I'm looking at you.
Bro, are you ready for this?
Uh-huh.
Where to begin?
Hefe, would you say I have a plethora of pinatas?
Oh, yes.
Maffei, do you know the theory?
About Donald Trump being a time traveler?
Yes.
Yeah, I know he's an astronaut.
Do you know who Nikola Tesla is?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dennis?
Of
Okay.
course.
What did Nikola Tesla work on?
Everything that Edison published.
What was he? AC current. He
Yeah.
was wireless electricity, which would have been amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He invented the modulator that could crack the earth in half. Using frequencies.
That electric
What-
automobile?
you're missing one huge piece to what he worked on. We just did a game about it.
Time travel.
worked on time travel.
He worked on time travel.
and transportation.
He was using electricity to try to bend the space-time continuum, I guess, for lack of better scientific words. And what he said he never traveled physically through time, but he saw the past, the present, and the future all at the same time. And
He also
essentially,
said aliens were talking to him too, he thought too.
well, I was going to say he essentially fried his brain doing this. Okay,
Yes.
so let's take that for what it is.
He died penniless.
But when he died, do you know that the government seized all of his works and they brought them into a think tank to try to decipher like what the hell he was working on and if they could compound on it or use it. And do you know what they found? They found that they were not smart enough to even decipher what the hell he was writing. So they brought in the next smartest person on the planet Earth to decipher these books. Do you know who that was? That was
Einstein.
It was John Trump. And who was John Trump? It's Donald J. Trump's uncle. And Donald J. Trump's uncle, our president's uncle, John Trump, looked at all of this data, and he went back to them, and you know what he said?
No.
I can't. I can't decipher it. I can't make heads or tails of it.
I'm gonna take this book home.
I'm going to take this book home. Okay. Now, speaking of books,
I'm gonna work.
I want you to
home.
Google this right now, Dennis the intern. Get your fingers on the Google.
I'm Googling right.
Ingersoll Lockwood. Ingersoll Lockwood. Who is he, Dennis? I'll tell you who he is. He's an author from the 1800s, bro. The 1800s. Who wrote a book called what, Dennis the intern? You just
The
Googled
Last
it.
President.
What was the other book called?
Hold on. Books. I got The Last President. Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey.
Baron Trump. This is the 1800s, everybody. Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journeys, which take place in what country? I'll tell you, Dennis the intern. Russia. And he has a older gentleman that just happens to help him through his underground journeys. What's his name, Dennis the intern?
You tell me.
Donald.
Donald?
You couldn't see this coming.
Donald helps Baron?
So I want you to take a look at that coincidence bullshit. Ingersoll Lockwood wrote Baron Trump's Adventures, who had Donald as his helper in the 1800s. You're telling me that John Trump didn't steal Nikola Tesla's time travel stuff, give it to his nephew, and now he's playing 5D chess, screwed up the whole country.
Oh, man.
Or doing really good things. I don't know. But, dude.
Who's to say? He's got the long view.
You need to deep dive into that theory.
Dennis is making a note.
Why does Mike ask us questions that he doesn't want the answers to?
Well, I can answer it faster than he can Google, and this is a radio show, so nobody wants to listen to us watch
No one's
him
hear
Google.
me type.
You know what I mean? But
How do you go down
Nobody
that rabbit
wants
hole?
to listen to you guys watch me Google.
Joe Maffei, you have to admit, dude, that's insanity.
My mind is actually blown right now.
How is
That's
that? How is
insane.
that all coincidental? Like all of those things.
It isn't a coincidence. Something's happening. Something's happening. I'm convinced now. Something's happening.
Ingersoll Lockwood wrote them in the 1800s, man.
And
End the show. And I got to.
and the kid Baron was really tall too.
He was a lawyer, a writer. We have to end the show. I have to read this. I have to look into this.
I can't believe you never. First of all, I can't believe we've never talked about this. It's one of my favorite topics of all time.
That was our
Like,
first time travel episode.
Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, a real book.
Yeah.
Wow.
From what date? What's the date, bro? Because I'm 60%.
1890s.
Yeah, 1890.
How'd you stumble upon this?
Because like he
Snopes is calling it mostly true.
He has to be. Well, what do you mean mostly true? Donald Trump has to be a time traveler, right? Like he's going through this so nonchalantly, he's pissing into the wind, dude, and like he just throws whatever he wants out there, and he walks away squeaky clean. It's like they're freaking out because they can't figure out how he's doing what he's doing. But we all know he's traveling. He's already seen it.
So Ingersoll wrote 3 books. He wrote Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, which was published in 1893. And 1900, The Last President came out a few years after that.
All right. What's The Last President about?
I don't know. I'm not. But then he penned a book, at least one other book about Baron Trump, and it was called "The Travels and Adventures of Little Baron Trump and His Wonderful Dog Bulgar," which I don't know if that's very prophetic, but who's to say? I don't know what Bulgar means.
Do a deep dive,
Bulgar.
everybody. Your minds will be blown. I'm not saying that time travel is possible per se, but the evidence to support that Donald Trump is a time traveler is out. It's amazing.
It is now probable.
It's not confirmed. Jamie and Adam have not dropped the confirmed plate on it yet.
But if Bill and Ted can time travel, so can Donald Trump.
We all know Marty can.
Revolution.
Yeah, Marty.
We know Marty can.
I think we ended on that. I mean, people's minds are blown.
Yeah.
Get Googling, everybody. Anything
Get to
you
Google.
anything you want to plug on the way out?
Thanks, Brother Steve, for not coming on the show.
Oh, we love Brother Steve. I look forward to the time where he changes his mind.
He will.
And again, like Brother Steve did, hit me up on Twitter at Dennis the Intern.
Joe Buffet? That's it?
I got no plugs except that I'm going to go out and get this book right now. I hear you also wrote a book called Willie Gates and the COVID Conspiracy.
Pizza Beer Revolution. You can find us on the web, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get some love, and we will love you back. We'll see you next time, everybody.